Subscribe to Tech Talks and hit the bell icon to get notifications about coolest and latest engineering technology in the first place. So in the next part we will since from the figure you can see that for V by F here there is some voltage, stator voltage drop or stator voltage compensation. Why this voltage compensation is required? This voltage compensation is required because when you are feeding power from this part, so there will be a voltage drop over here. Okay, so if there is any voltage drop over here, so no voltage or no current will go in this part. That means the motor will not produce any torque, no torque producing current will be there. Okay, so you see when at frequency 0 also we are having some rated voltage, some voltage value, though the portion, the V by F should start from this 0, but it is starting at a higher height. Okay, this is explained vividly in my video. Link of that video is given in the description box. Do check that. So now moving on to this part, that how we will do this voltage compensation and all that. So this is frequency, this is the slope we have taken, and the frequency will not go beyond 50 Hz because 50 Hz is the rated frequency. So I have put a limiter over here, so it is connected to the limiter. This is the same thing that we have done earlier, that creating a frequency and then three sine wave of 120 degree apart. Now this frequency would be fed in this block. Now this is actually the voltage compensation. I have calculated the value and it is nearly 10% to 12% of the frequency. So I will compare it with the upcoming frequency, right? And also we need a switch. Okay, we need a switch. Now this is the logic, that whenever this frequency is greater than this one, whenever this frequency is greater than this one, then this portion will go. And whenever it is lesser than this one, then this portion part will go. It is still 1.5, as I have shown you, that you apply frequency from 0 only, but that time also some voltage is there. So that is done over here, that now this three frequency sine wave, it should be multiplied with the voltage. From here we are getting the frequency. Okay, if you check this one, let me show you with the scope. So let me show you what is happening over here. This is the scope, so we will put it over here and we will check one sine wave. Okay, and let's see. So this is the frequency, rise of frequency from 0 to 50 Hz, right? Meanwhile you see that the frequency of the sine wave has also increased. Here the density of the frequency wave is low, here the density of the frequency wave is high. So if you calculate in this zone, this should reach 50 Hz. So if you calculate any frequency over here, that is, you see this is 2.77, this is 2.75, so 20 millisecond is over here. 2.77 minus 2.75, 20 millisecond. So this is, it has reached 50 hertz. So this is what happened over here. But one thing you notice that here the amplitude of the sine wave has not changed. The amplitude is fixed to 1, right? But in V by F, what will happen? In V by F, what happens? With the gradual rise in frequency, the amplitude of the voltage is also changing. So how to do that, we will see now. That this is 1, so we will multiply it with this part. So this part, what is there? So this signal is a ramp signal, or at which the frequency is increasing. So this signal is to be multiplied over here. Okay, so this is the gain 1 by 50, 1 by 50. Why? Because we have reduced this one, so that it always remains within 1, right? So this is actually the frequency, and this is the amplitude. Now let us see what happens to the amplitude of the voltage with the gradual rise in frequency, right? So now you see, with the gradual rise in frequency, the amplitude of the sine wave is also changing, right? That you could be able to very easily understand that if you change this signal, then the amplitude of the sine wave would also change. Now this is the highest value of this sine wave is 1. Notice that highest value of this part is 1. Now we will multiply this value with 338. Why 338? Because this is the phase voltage, V phase. Phase voltage. Now this part will be going to one of the sub parts that we have created. So moving on to the assembly part, what we will be doing here. Now here one thing you notice, that how this waveform would look like. If you take this part, observe this part, and if you observe this part, then you see that this is our original signal, right? And you see over in this part that it has started from a certain height. This is what is needed in V by F control. If you observe this one, that this is voltage drop compensation, so we have incorporated the voltage drop compensation over here. This is going from 0 to 50 hertz, and the amplitude is going from 0 to 1. Later on we will multiply it with the V phase voltage. Okay. In this part we will just assemble the whatever we have done. So this is the inverter. Okay, so this is the inverter. SPWM, this is the hard to cover of the inverter, so we will change this voltage to 700. Okay, this is SPWM. This is what we have done by changing the frequency and voltage. So this phase voltage is 3-phase voltage, so this should be given to this switch SPWM, right? Now this switches should be connected to this inverter. Now this RYB, this will be connected to the motor. I have taken 3 current measuring units. Okay, so let us find the motor now. The motor you will find it in Simscape. Simscape Power Systems, specialized technology. Here reticles versus machines. In machines you will find asynchronous machine, this one, asynchronous machine SI unit. Okay, so I'm just showing you it with just a model. You can have your own values of sine theta of induction machine. So these are the basic values. So whatever inverter voltage I have selected, for that I need over here 415 volt. You can have your own voltage, and just check this one, that your motor should start from 0 speed. That means the slip of the motor should be 1. Just make this two arrangement in your simulation. And in my case it is squirrel cage motor, because I don't want any rotor side access. You can keep it in to slip ring also, and then you short circuit that one, right? So this is the measuring unit. We'll connect it over here. This is the bus selector. In bus selector I need what? I will see the mechanical rotor speed, the torque, and this one I don't require. I just need the mechanical speed and the speed and torque of the motor. Now from this R phase I will connect to this A, Y, this will be connected over here, and B, this will be connected over here. Okay, now torque, we will be giving an initial value of 0.00001, very low torque. Okay. And I will not give any extra torque for this program. Now what I require a scope, where I will get scope in this continuous use block, this one, and let me do some adjustment. That number of inputs is 2 and layout is 2. Okay, so now this 2 is connected over here. So in the first part, rotor speed will be coming out, and then the torque. Okay, so let us check. This is a 2-pole machine, is it? Yes, this is a pole pair is 2, that is 4-pole machine. 4-pole machine and 50 hertz machine. That means our frequency is okay. If it is a 60 hertz machine, then we need to adjust this one. This upper limit we will have to put it to 60 hertz. Okay. Now no other things are okay. Now we will run this motor and we will see that what happens. But before doing that, we will put this loop to 50 so that this speed rises fast, and also we will not make any other changes. We will simply run this motor. Okay, it is running now. You can do one thing in simulation. You can go to this model configuration simulation, and you can make this fixed step, and you can make the fixed step size as 1 microsecond. Okay, it will be reflected in your power GUI, that it is in discrete form and it is in 1 microsecond range. Okay, and let us see what happens over here. Is the motor running or not running? Yes, it is running. Okay, you can easily see. Configure, let us configure it in a better way. 50, and this, let us put in -10. Okay, so the motor is running. You can see that the speed has been the speed increases with the with the our given input, and you can see that speed is nearly 157. It is nearly 157 because at no load it will go till 157, okay, at 50 Hz frequency. So if we check the speed, if we check the speed, that is this signal, and our reference signal, that is this part, the frequency part, okay, and then we will understand. So let us just flip this one. The upper part is the command that we are giving, and the lower part is the motor speed in which the motor is behaving. It is now only 3.8. Let us spend some time till the motor get to a stable value. This is the signal that we are giving. Okay, at this point it is reaching 50 Hz. At this point the motor is also reaching its no load speed. Okay, likewise you can do or change the parameters of the motor and other things also. Okay, but this VYF remains the same. If you increase this voltage, that means you are just boosting this voltage. If you increase this one, that means you are boosting this voltage over here. Because next time your input to the amplitude of the voltage will be looking like from here it will go on, then this part, and then this part. Okay, so see you in next video with closed loop control of VYF. Please like, share this video, and comment how you like this video. Okay, thank you. Comment below about how you like this video. Check out the links in the description box about more such videos. Do click the like button if you like the video. If you are new to this channel, subscribe Tech Talks and don't forget to hit the bell icon.